And good morning at 7:04 on this Thursday, May 26th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Everybody, and welcome. We're glad to have you on a Thursday, and glad to have our team from Bates Ford with us this morning. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main in Lebanon. The dealer don't trade for anything it don't eat. I was practicing my line as I got the signal to be on the air here. Paul, good morning.
Good morning. Jumped the gun a little early, but that's all right.
Paul Tubbs, the general manager now at Bates Ford. Had your title changed just a little bit.
I think they just changed the title and kept the same position, but it all works the same.
And we got Ronnie Kelly as always. Ronnie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's nice to see you today.
Glad to be here.
You are wearing a WANT FM 98.9 cap this morning.
Yes, I'm advertising.
All right, we appreciate it.
I'll be in next week to pick up a check.
Well, Paul, get us started. It's Memorial Day weekend. You are going to be open Monday to sell cars and trucks.
Yep. Sales is open. Parts and service is not. We've got a lot of stuff. We're still buying cars like crazy. We've probably purchased within 10 to 12 in the last couple of weeks. New car inventory still a little low. We're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed. Me and Tony had a little meeting with Ford the other day, but it's still kind of bleak. That chip deal's still crazy. I don't kind of quite understand why we can't get chips in cars, but we're still, kicking along. We've got a great used inventory. We've got a lot of selections. We got a 15 diesel truck, something that's hard to come by, dually, and some nice inventory, parts and service. You know, when school starts, we always stay really busy, but when school gets out, generally, that's when we kind of slow down a little bit. I was looking yesterday. It's always a madhouse, and it was kind of a little slower paced yesterday. So if you need something done on your vehicle, right now is a time when we're not as backed up as usual. So if you want to bring it in, we'll be happy to try to get to it.
Well, Ronnie, what's on your mind this morning? I know selling cars always is to some extent.
Yes, sell cars is always on our mind. And right now, like Paul said, on our used vehicles, we do have a pretty good selection. But also we have the kids that getting out of school and the parents want to purchase a vehicle. And I got some on the list that I'm trying to find, like Mustang, Altimas. Some parents want to spend $13,000, $14,000. And we don't have those type of cars right now, but we're trying to get them. And if you have anything that that you want to sell and turn into cash, if you bring it into Bates Ford, we'll try to purchase those vehicles. And like Paul, Mike, and Joy are doing a great job, purchasing vehicles. But we still need some of those under $10,000 vehicles. It's hard to get those.
I got an idea that some of those cars that are selling for 14 and 15 now were 10 and 12 not too long ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, with that Fusion, and we put that Fusion through the shop, that little gray Fusion yesterday, and that thing was straight as can be. It's a clean little cheap car, and I was really surprised. My technician got me. He said, "Man, this thing's like brand new. It's got brakes. I mean, somebody's took really good care of it. So it's an inexpensive vehicle. That little Fusion that we've got."
Well, and I think, Ronnie, you would echo this again. If you see something you like and you really want, you better get it right then, because if you procrastinate, somebody's going to get it ahead of you.
Yes, you're correct. Like Paul mentioned the truck a while ago, the 250 at 15,350 diesel. I got a man that's coming in. He was in on Monday, and I talked to him on yesterday. He said, "Well, man, have you taken the price down in there?" I said, "Well, the price is what it is." He said, "Well, I'll try to get back in there tomorrow, And I hope that he get there on time, because somebody came and looked at it yesterday, and they had somebody on it. So I don't know how that deal gonna work.
We did have a guy that was doing some hauling, some hot shotting, and the diesel fuel prices. He said, "Man, I've got to get rid of a couple of trucks." So he called me. He's a service customer, really good guy. He had a couple of trucks that he wasn't using, so he brought them in. I bought both of them. It was a couple of diesel dualies, and we sold them within a week, both trucks. So, I mean, that's how hard these diesels. We're not hardly getting any new diesel trucks in. These diesels are, I know the price of diesel fuel is kind of expensive, or is expensive right now, But them trucks are very sought after. So if you got something you're looking for, come get it.
Well, your sales department will be open Monday on Memorial Day. But
Yes.
the service department will be closed. They get a day off.
I get to cheat with them, take
And
off.
we can still talk about the cheapest oil change in town.
We're still running it, doing, our oil changes. One of the things I tell everybody is we get so many in the mornings that generally by sometime around 2, we have to kind of shut them down because we can't get all the customers, people that drop them off. But, generally we're doing 25 to 30 oil changes a day. Then if you sell brakes, tires, or if you see some other necessary needs, then, you've got to get that done. So anybody that wants an oil change, I would suggest trying to get there early in the morning because on Saturdays we have them lined out to the road waiting on oil changes, which is a good problem to have. One thing I wanted to tell you, I told Judge Tatum when he was the host, is I got a phone call a couple of weeks ago, and Miss Floyd called to tell me a story. She said she listens to us every week and was telling me a story about a 54 T-Bird that her husband had bought her. So Miss Ann Floyd called, and I wanted to tell you that because Judge Tatum was the guest host that week when she called, but I thought that was really special, her giving us a call. She called me down at Bates and said she listened to us and told me a story about a T-Bird she had, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Oh, it really is. She's a wonderful person. Well, we didn't mention tires, but you still got plenty of tires.
And we are selling the fire out of tires right now. Ford's got a great deal. You buy 4 tires, there's $100 rebates on tires. We give lifetime rotation when you purchase tires. And also there's available road hazard on tires as well. But Ford will meet or beat anybody's price on tires. And, of course, our batteries, $134.95, cheapest in town as well. So if you got any kind of needs, just come holler at us.
A lot of reasons to go to Bates Ford. Ronnie, have a great week.
All right, we'll definitely do that.
All right.
Check on our website.
We'll see y'all next Thursday.
All right.
Thank you.
Paul Tubbs, General Manager Ronnie Kelly in sales, Bates Ford, 1673 West Main in Lebanon, the dealer that'll trade for anything it don't eat. 10:30 after the hour here on a Thursday morning. I have invited Gwen Scott to be my guest, and if you know Gwen Scott, you know that one of the first things that probably comes out when you have a conversation is Fiddler's Grove.
Amen.
Gwen, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Coleman?
I'm doing pretty well. It is good to see you, and you have somebody you brought with you this morning.
I do. Mr. Jacob Lanham with Cedar Grove Baptist Church.
Jacob Lanham.
Yes, sir.
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, I want to, Gwen, we're going to talk about Fiddler's Grove and all of this and Nettie Jacobs days. But there's something that I've been thinking about for quite a while. When we had the Chamber of Commerce banquet back, I guess it was in February, the awards ceremony, when there's probably 10, 12, maybe 15 different awards that are given out to different people, but you got one of those, and I always consider it really nice if one of those people that gets one of those awards comes on my program. Whether once in a while it'll be somebody, some special award, maybe that I just have them out to talk about that. But that's not the reason you're here today. But I do want to mention that you were given a lifetime award, I believe.
I was. Quite an honor. Surprised me, I'll tell you. Caught me off guard.
I think when they do those and don't let people know about it ahead of time, that it's certainly a surprise to the recipient, because I've been there a couple of times and I know that. But if you already know ahead of time, it takes a little bit of the element of surprise out. It's still special, but maybe not hardly as special.
I could not believe it. It's like, wow. Why me? But I've always loved the chamber.
Well, I just wanted to do that lest I forget and leave it out when we get into our discussion here. But we have Nettie Jacobs Heritage Day coming up, and you're here to talk about that this morning. When's that going to be?
I am. It's this Saturday, May 28th, from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m.
So that's 2 days from now.
2 days from now. And we're partnering this year with Cedar Grove Baptist Church. And we're very honored to have them partake of what we're doing. And
is there a particular reason to have this on Memorial Day weekend?
well, timing. We're so busy out at the Ag Center these days. There's so much booked out there that it's hard to find a time to squeeze in any more events. And we have moved this one from July, then we moved it to June because of the heat. We wanted to bring as many people in as possible. So we thought, well, maybe the weather will be beautiful in May. And the only time we had left was May 28th. So that's how we wound up here.
Well, I haven't looked that much at the forecast. Does it look fairly favorable?
It's supposed to be beautiful. In the mid 80s and sunshine, and they didn't even mention rain. So I think it's going to be probably one of the best events we've had this year.
Well, we got a lot to talk about that. We could need to go to a break here in a moment. But Jacob Lanham, tell us about you. I think this is the first time we've met. I don't remember.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
Yes, sir,
Well, it's certainly good to meet you and nice to have you this morning. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. So I grew up in Lebanon my whole life, and in 2016, I surrendered to the gospel ministry, and it was November of 2016 that I went to preach at Cedar Grove for the first time, and it was 2017 they voted me in as pastor, and since then, that's what I've been doing. That's been my life. So I got a beautiful wife, Heather, and a little 2-year-old daughter, River, and another one on the way in August, and we call her little sister because we haven't told anyone her name yet. But that's me. Like I said, growing up in Lebanon, gone to church my whole life in Lebanon, and now I'm a pastor at Cedar Grove Baptist Church. So we are absolutely, we are very glad to be partnering with Fiddler's Grove on this Saturday. And it's not going to be the last time either.
Real quick, what brought that about?
Miss Gwen met with one of my members, Bill Bush, and he came to me and said, "Hey, this is what we're doing. Can you preach on that Saturday?" I said, "Sure." And what I didn't know is that we were on the planning committee for the event itself, so we're very involved. But that's kind of what brought it up. I think Bill was wanting to kind of get involved with Fiddler's Grove somehow.
Well, he wanted to have he talked to me about wanting to have some kind of a Heritage Day. I said, well, Bill, let me tell you what we're doing. And would you be interested in partnering with us? And it was like the Lord just brought us together. I said, well, let's just get married.
Okay. With that, we will take our break. And this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota Exmark. Large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. The #1 selling brand, bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're trying to clear up this earlier wreck on Briley Parkway westbound near Clarksville Pike. It's actually trying to improve over there. Crash 40 west near OHB on the west side. Traffic's on the increase up through Brentwood, Franklin on 65 coming up through Williamson County. Lots of radar out here. Give yourself extra time. Princess Hot Chicken now hiring. Check out that menu, princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
There's a reason why more home buyers and sellers trust A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction to get the job done. A.G. & Johnson offers what you want: more knowledge, more personal attention, more convenience. When you love what you do, it shows. That's why we have been voted the best of Wilson County by you, our clients. Discover the A.G. & Johnson difference. We are trusted by your neighbors for a reason. Call 615-444-0909 or visit us online today, agandjohnson.com, your community trusted realty and auction company.
Coleman and Company, it's a Thursday morning, and we're talking Nettie Jacobs Heritage Day. We have Gwen Scott with us this morning, and Jacob Lanham, who is the pastor of Cedar Grove Baptist Church.
Yes, sir.
And we've established the fact that Nettie Jacobs Day and Cedar Grove Baptist Church have a relationship, at least for this year, to participate together, and you're actually going to have a time for a message this Saturday during Nettie Jacobs Heritage Day.
Yes, sir.
All right. How long are you going to preach?
So I'm actually, I do not preach long. So I get in and get out, and but so that's not going to be too long. We're going to have some bluegrass music, some gospel music, and so then I'm going to kind of let them do their thing and come in and preach a very evangelical message. and it's going to be a good time.
Well, tell us a little bit about Nettie Jacobs. Gwen, you're a descendant of Nettie Jacobs, and people who, if they know anything at all about Nettie Jacobs, know he's supposed to be the person who actually started Lebanon, Tennessee, or at least his cabin was near the square, where the square is now. And well, you tell the story better than I can.
Okay. Well, he built his cabin close to where Edwards Feed is. And he built it there because of the creek. You know, the town creek runs right through the city of Lebanon. We all know that because of the flooding. But anyway, he lived there until it started becoming populated. And the reason we call Fiddler's Grove is because of him, because when he was there on the square, he loved to play the fiddle. And after everybody would get through with their work at the end of the day, they'd go and they'd sit and listen to Nettie play. So G. Frank Burns, when they were trying to figure out what to name Fiddler's Grove, he said, well, why don't you just name it after old Nettie Jacobs, name it Fiddler's Grove. And everybody on that committee thought that was a pretty neat idea. So that's how we got our name. And when I started to work there, I had no clue for the relationship with that and Nettie Jacobs. And after I started working there and started doing some research, it's like, wow, that's my own kinfolks. I guess I was supposed to work here.
Well, you do love the place, and that's putting it mildly, really.
I do. I love Fiddler's Grove. It's probably one of the neatest gyms, and people don't realize how much we have out there. We started with about 4 buildings, and now we have over 60 buildings. We're adding 3 buildings and a pavilion on the ground. So the Ag Center has really grown a lot over the last 40 years.
Yeah. Well, you've got an agenda here, and you've given me a copy of it this morning. Nettie Jacobs Day begins at 9 this Saturday, May 28th, goes to 4 p.m., and a lot of different things. So tell us about what's going to start at 9 o'clock.
Okay, at 9 o'clock, of course, we open up. We've got vendors out there, and they're all kind of hand-picked vendors. We're proud of who we've got. So we will be having shopping. And then at 10 o'clock, we're going to have a workshop in the Veterans Building. We're teaching people how to make a beautiful little patriotic wreath, and that's at 10. Also, shortly after 9 o'clock, we have a lady from the DAR that's going to come, Kathy Halsey, and she's going to be showing people how to find their family tree. And I think that's pretty neat because as you get older, you start thinking back, I wish I'd asked this and I wish I'd asked that. So sometimes all we have is the records, but that gives us a clue to who our family is. We also have offered to Cedar Grove that we might, since their church burned, we are willing to do whatever we can to help to find records that might help restore some of their history. Mm-hmm. So we're excited about that. And then, of course, after we do that, we've got a group, I don't know if anybody knows about this, but there is a group here in Wilson County called the Wilson County Cast Iron Community. They started with a small group of friends sitting around a table, and I think now they've got over 700 members. A few of their members are going to be out there, and they're going to be making hoe cakes. So if you don't know what a hoe cake is, come out there and see what a hoe cake is. I'm excited about that because
well, now they better if they're in a cast iron skillet.
They do taste better in a cast iron skillet, for sure. These folks have been very helpful to us. We had a little over 400 kids come just a few days ago, and they were from the city schools, and they were able to take care of teaching them about cooking over an open fire and all that. So this community of cast iron people is really very helpful to Fiddler's Grove.
All right, now I don't think I've asked this. I don't remember you saying. Is there any admission charge?
Yes, it's $5 for adults and $4 for kids 6 to 12. So but a lot of people say, well, why do you charge? Well, those buildings out there are old and they take a lot of maintenance, and it costs a lot to keep everything up. So we've got a price where we think it's a nominal fee and affordable, but we're offering a whole day of fun.
Well, that's a very nominal price. You said $5 for adults, $4 for children.
Correct.
And well, then there is a few things to spend some money on for. You get hungry or thirsty.
we're going to have pinto beans and hoe cakes. We've got, of course, our signature fried bologna sandwich on a sourdough bread, made right here in Wilson County, and everybody loves those. We've had people from Canada come and say, "I've heard about your fried bologna sandwiches." So our word is getting out about that.
Well, you've got an event at 2:00 that has gained quite a bit of publicity over the years. If nothing else, just the name of the event, the outhouse race.
The outhouse race. Our first outhouse race that was official was last year. And our first responders, we had all the police department, we had WEMA, fire department, and it was just amazing how much fun we had. And it is a hoot. If you don't believe it, you need to come see it. We have a relay that they race the outhouses to a certain line, and then we have a relay race, and they're going to be throwing commode seats over a cone. And then once they do that, then they will take toilet paper and throw it through a toilet seat that's hanging in the air. And then after I think there's one more, they have to get, to start with, they have to get a guitar pick out of a bucket of, what do we call it, slop? So it's really a hoot to watch them try to fish all this out and then try to throw the toilet paper and throw the toilet seat over the cone. It's a hoot. Then they get back in the outhouse, and then they have to go back to the beginning point. And so we'll have a timer there, someone to keep time.
Okay, so whoever can do all that first, get back to the finish
the
line,
winner.
which is the start line. Okay, they're the winner.
Right. It's so much fun.
Well, I don't know what kind of prize you got, but just being able to say you're the winner there is probably the big thing.
It's a lot of bragging rights.
All right, we've got a lot more to talk about in a short time. Really, you've got old-fashioned games from 10 to 2, and I see here cornhole is one of them.
Right. Cornhole, and we've got a skillet toss. So if we've got any women out there that are frustrated with their man, all they got to do is come out to Fiddler's Grove and throw their skillet and try to hit the target and try to get rid of those frustrations. I think this is a good way to save a marriage.
Well, I see here it says checkers. That's for people not too active,
Right.
I guess.
Correct.
Horseshoes is what we used to play, but till we get old and we play cornhole. It's
Right.
about the same thing.
About the same thing.
The skillet toss you mentioned. What about stick horse races?
Well, we've got stick horses for the young kids, and we'll have a race. There'll be a little prize for them at the end, whoever wins. We have a lady that has made 25 stick horses, and we have a hoot with that,
Yeah.
just getting out there riding the horse.
Well, no doubt you've put a lot of thought into this because you have something for everybody, young or old, and in between. Preacher, Jacob Lanham, which one of these would you enter if you were going to? Checkers, horseshoe, cornhole, skillet toss, stick horse race. Any of that interest you?
Well, I've actually been voluntold that I'm going to be doing the outhouse race. So I will be in one of the outhouses and being pushed down the line and putting my hands in the slop and getting the guitar pick and making it happen.
Well, that ought to be worth the price of admission, just to see you in action, I guess. Let's see if we left anything out here. Again, this thing about searching for your family roots. A lot of people have put that off, or for whatever reason, aren't as close to their family history as maybe they'd like to be, or maybe even ought to be. And this is going to be from 10 o'clock till you close?
Till we close. And, as you get older, you start thinking, man, I wish I'd asked Granny these questions, or I wish I'd asked that. And if you haven't done that, which in my family, they didn't even want to talk about. It was kind of like we know the last generation, and that was all that mattered. But as I get older, I want to go back as far as I can. So we're going to be using Ancestry.com to teach them how to use it. But there's other websites such as Family Search and different ones like that. So,
well, by the way, other than being a fiddler, you got any stories about Nettie Jacobs, your great whatever grandfather?
Well, in my research, I did find out that he was 16 years old and fought in the Revolutionary War, and there's evidence that he also fought in the War of 1812. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Wow.
He came from Maryland, and he was married to an Indian. He also was married to another lady. The family story is that there was a shipwreck. So I can't figure out if his first wife died from the shipwreck or what happened. But we do know that in North Carolina, where he settled to begin with, he married a lady. Her name was Laula. And so...
Well, you think there'll ever be a book, or has there already been any book written about Nettie Jacobs?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well,
but
that's
I've
a good
got
project
lot.
for
I
you.
know. That's my after retirement project.
All right, one more thing. The Vietnam Veterans Food Truck's going to be there. So this is a fundraiser for them.
For them. And you know, I'm sure you're aware, they give back to the community. They do take care of their veterans, and the profits they make from this goes back to help with
So
that.
all those things you mentioned, they're the ones going to be selling them.
They will be selling out of the food truck, and Fiddler's Grove General Store will have our little restaurant open, and that's where we'll do the pinto beans and
Okay. Jacob Lanham, pastor, Cedar Grove Baptist Church. Thanks for being with us today. And again, you are tied in with the Nettie Jacobs Heritage Day. Going to be a first for you, but if this is successful, maybe a future thing. Maybe.
Oh, absolutely. We've already started talking about Christmas. So.
Oh, okay. Well, good to have you today.
Yes,
good
sir.
to meet
Thank
you. And Gwen, thanks so much. It's nice to see you, and we wish you well.
thank you so much for having us.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, that regular oil change $28.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, $16.73 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Heavy traffic developing now right on schedule. 24 coming out of Rutherford County. Give yourself extra time up through the Hickory Hollow area. Trying to move that wreck westbound on Briley Parkway near Clarksville Pike. People are still staring at that crash, and it's picking up quite a bit now on I-40 coming in through Dixon County. It's pretty heavy at times. I-40 coming past OHB on the west side. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, home of the world famous cotton candy wine. Check them out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
And now, a moment of silence to remember our dear friend.
Sorry. Oh, man.
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. With a wide range of air conditioners, furnaces, and heat pumps, Rheem makes it easy to feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 28th from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. for Nettie Jacobs Heritage Day at Fiddler's Grove in the Wilson County Fairgrounds. Lots of fun things to do. Shop vendors, genealogy, workshops at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., hourly drawings, games, food, Cedar Grove Church service at 11 a.m., bluegrass music, an outhouse race at 2 p.m. For more information, call 615-547-6111.
Discover the power of an independent insurance agent at THW Insurance Services. Because THW is 100% independent, you can rest assured that they are on your side, which means they'll do whatever it takes to find you the right coverage at the right price from the industry's leading insurers. Don't just get insurance, get a friend at THW Insurance Services, 321 West Main in Lebanon, or call 443-3849. That's 443-3849.
Clouds will be staying with us this morning, and many of us will see some showers. High of 75 degrees today, dropping to the upper 50s overnight. Rain chances decrease for Friday as we look drier and much warmer for the Memorial Day weekend. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number one Ned.
And we continue here on a Thursday. Welcome to part two of Coleman and Company. We're ready to talk about A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction. Jay White is here. Jay, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good to see you. We have Helene Singer Cash here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Looks like y'all ready for another big auction.
We are, Coleman. We are. And it's tonight. We've got one tonight at 6 o'clock on Nicholas Drive here in the Five Oaks community here in Lebanon. If you're interested in buying some lots, we've got 2 lots down there. on off Five Oaks Boulevard on Nicholas Drive, and they're condominium lots.
Thursday night auction is not totally out of the picture, but they're kind of rare, aren't they?
Well, they're not as rare as they used to be. We do we have a lot of evening sales now. It seems they work out really well. People enjoy coming out in the evenings, and especially this time of year when the weather's a little better and we got a little more. We have a little more daylight in the afternoons, and we'll be there probably 30, 45 minutes, and it'll be over with. But I mean, if you're just selling one or two parcels, it works really well.
Well, you want to tell us a little bit more about these two building lots?
These two building lots, they're located on Nicholas Drive. They're down. If you're interested in condominiums, these are building envelopes. You can build a 2-unit condominium there. They're zero lot lines basically. This is in a developed condominium area down there. There's probably 5 or 6 lots left in the whole development in this particular part of Five Oaks, but there'd be a great investment opportunity here.
All right, it'll be, as you said, it won't be that long, kind of be short and sweet, but you're going to auction both of these off tonight starting at 6.
Starting at 6 o'clock in the villas of Five Oaks.
All right, Helene, what do you got for us this morning?
Well, Lou Ann Snyder has a listing in Watertown. It just came up. It's been on the market 2 days. I don't know that it'll be on the market very long. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on Woodland Annex, right in the heart of Watertown. It's on a half-acre lot, 1,300, little over 1,300 square feet. This home was built in the 60s, so it's a great little starter home. It's one of those homes that's not going to be around long. So if you're interested in looking at it, just give us a call at 615-444-0909.
All right, very good. You got auctions booked up pretty well throughout the auction season, which goes through next fall.
That's right.
You're still looking for more for those times when you might have an opening.
Absolutely, we sure do. We sure are, Coleman, and I'll talk a little bit about next week. Not this coming Saturday, but a week from Saturday. But if you're out over the holiday weekend and you want to look at a beautiful tract of land, we're selling right at 100 acres out on Phillips Road, right out east of town here, just a few miles out. It's going to be divided into about 12 separate acreage tracts between 5 and 16 acres. They're all septic approved. They're approved acreage lots. If you're looking for a little acreage close to town, I'd recommend you riding out over the next few days and take
12, 15 acres is sort of a baby farm, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Can be anyway.
It's a whole lot to maintain if you're out there keeping it up. But I mean, if you're looking for a little privacy, it would be a great place. So ride out and take a look and be prepared to come out on June the 4th and be with us, at 10 o'clock on June the 4th and look at that.
All right. Well, A.G. & Johnson Realty, of course, their office at 728 West Main, but a lot of people go to your website anymore, www.agandjohnson.com, and you've got a phone number that's kind of stuck with us for a long time, 444-0909, and you've got really a fine team of realtors, real estate people, others that kind of work in the background, but Jay, you've come a long way yourself, and you're the leader of the team now.
I guess you could say that, Coleman, but we all get along real well together. I'm not really a leader. I'm just everybody's there to help one another in our organization. So,
and Helene, you're a little newer to the real estate business, I guess, than some of these that's been around for a while. You've done a number of things since you've been here, but this seems to be something that you have an affinity for, and I really enjoy.
I do, but Coleman, I'll tell you, I've been in real estate in one form or fashion for a long time.
Really?
I did site search 20 years ago for retail, so I've been in it in a different way.
All right.
So I've done site selection for a long time, so I just decided to get on the other side of it. So believe it or not, but I'm going to tell you, so if you're interested in this Phillips Road farm, just head on over to the website, like you said, at agandjohnson.com, but you can also see all of our listings and all of our auctions on there.
All right, and again, I guess we'll kind of close out as we started here with your 2 building lots that are going to be selling this evening, 6 o'clock, Jay.
This evening in the villas of Five Oaks. Come out and be with us.
All right, well, thank you all so much. Have a What are you doing? What are you doing Memorial Day? Monday, you have a day off maybe?
We have a day off on Monday, but we are all available. All of our cell phones are listed online. So as a real estate agent, we don't ever get a day off. We're always available, but the office will not be open.
All right, office will be closed Monday.
The office will be closed Monday.
And we'll see y'all next Thursday.
That's right.
We'll have some great sales, and we will talk to you then.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Jay White, Helene Cash with A.G. and Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main. The phone number 615-444-0909. And I hope that my guests are in the lobby waiting to come in. We've got a special program this morning, if all goes well. And I am looking for John Jewell. And we want to talk about the Watertown Jazz Festival in this segment this morning. And, well, Glenn Martin is here anyway. Glenn, have a seat there. You and I will talk. If John has forgotten us, that's too bad.
I got a message from John. I don't know whether he's going to be able to make it or not. But
Well, get a little closer to the mic here so everybody can hear you. How you been?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. In fact, we could talk a lot about you and your music career and all that you have done music-wise, because I think you've been a teacher. You've had your own group of musicians, and
I was a music education major at Tennessee Tech University in the mid-'60s, and then I graduated in '68, and I band directed for 12 years. I taught private music lessons in the schools as a private contractor, and then I taught at Cumberland University for a number of years, and Tennessee State University, and then back at Cumberland again. And then since my last job at Cumberland, I have been composing music. I've had pieces performed by the Eastman trombone ensemble, and just had two pieces performed up at Tennessee Tech. And
well, you've had quite a music career. Music's been your life, really, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yeah. Well, now, how did you? I think I know the answer here, but you and John Jewell kind of hooked up in previous years and got the Jazz Festival in Watertown.
Yes.
Quite a name that was made, and a lot of that was to your credit, knowing the people to ask and to get up there to perform.
Well, partially. I'll take some credit. The festival started in 1995, I think, and the second year I was asked to be the music director, and that went on. I did it for 8 years, 96 through 2004, and then I got a job teaching at Tennessee State University, and I just couldn't do that both.
Mm-hmm.
But we had some big names: Maynard Ferguson, the trumpet guy, Ed Shaughnessy, and Tonight Show All-Stars, Ellis Marsalis, and quite a big thing. But it was not just me; it was Sharon McComb, who was a fireball type of person, raised the money. John did the logistical work and made sure that everything was where we needed it, when we needed it, staging, getting musicians to the festival, and I got the music acts.
John Jewell is quite a visionary,
yes,
really.
He is, and he loves jazz.
He gets an idea, and he can work it to death, to perfection, and he is a perfectionist. I've known him since his high school days.
Have you?
Worked with him some here at the radio station, and of course,
that's
I've appreciated what he and Sharon started there, along with you and others. But they got most of the credit, the Watertown Jazz Festival, and then it kind of went its way. But now he's revived that. And
well, they had it a few years between. Vicky Frazier and some others did a good job of intermittently having it, and we had some. I was not able to participate. I think I played on a couple of them, but I was not involved in the organization.
Yep.
But they did a good job, and then we started up again last year, hopefully on a full-time basis.
Well, what about this year? I take it you're pretty familiar with. Are you mainly responsible for securing those who are going to be performing this year?
Yes. Yes, I did it, and of course the committee has to, they have to approve it because they've got to raise. They have to raise the money to organize to pay for it.
Let's talk about when it's going to be.
It is July the 16th from 1 until 10 p.m.
Okay, it's going to be there have been times in the past where it was actually a 2-day thing. You had a Friday afternoon evening, Saturday afternoon evening, but to get it started back up last year was a 1-day thing, and I talked to John a little bit about this. He was hoping maybe to even get the 2-day thing going again, but not this year.
Well, it is quite the financial responsibility.
The more people you have there, the more it costs you to have them.
We had to weigh that and decide what was possible in terms of raising the money, because all of our money is donated.
Right.
And the budget gets on up there, so there's only so much you can do, and we're hoping to have it 2 nights next year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, but we have a great lineup.
All right, we want to talk about that, but we need to go to a break first.
Sure.
And let's do that right here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's now 7:46. This update brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota Exmark. Large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. The #1 selling brand, bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're trying to wrap up this crash over here on Briley Parkway westbound at Clarksville Pike that still has traffic extra slow. It's also running heavy on 40 eastbound up by OHB coming in from Bellevue. All the traffic coming in from Dixon County, Hickman County still looks pretty good. Just lots of radar out here, as you can imagine. And it's also very busy 40 eastbound as they try to clear up an accident near Hermitage area, actually over around Donaldson Pike. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, home of the world famous cotton candy wine. Check them out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford, and our vehicle purchase program has been a huge success. If you got something you want to sell, bring it to Bates Ford for a cash offer. Even if you owe money, we'll pay it off and give you the difference. And on the service side, we got some great deals. We got the Works program, which includes an oil change and a tire rotation, the cheapest oil change in town, the cheapest battery in town for $134 installed on most vehicles. That's Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat.
All right, we continue here at Coleman Company for a Thursday morning, and as I said earlier, Glenn Martin is with us. We're talking about the Watertown Jazz Festival, and I want to go to the telephone now. John Jewell, are you there?
I am. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm doing well. It's better now that we've got you on the other end here. Did you forget us?
No, I didn't. Believe it or not, I lost my billfold.
Uh-oh.
And I just could not drive down here without a driver's license. I have been frantically looking for that thing for 30 minutes or more. I deeply apologize, but that's the best story I can tell you.
All right. Well, we've just been talking with Glenn a little bit, talking somewhat about the history of the Jazz Festival and how you and Sharon McComb kind of had the idea and the dream and got it started back in the 90s, and some of the people that you've had there. And we were just getting ready to talk about this year's lineup. And, of course, it's going to be a one-day event on it's the second Saturday after the 4th of July. What's the date again? You got that date in mind?
It's July 16th.
All right, July 16th, and on the square in Watertown.
On the square, we got 9 acts. They are, me get my list here. They start with the Nightingale Big Band, the Jerry Crone Dixieland Band, the Jazz Alliance, another big band, Jerry Tashwa, he's a vibist, like Lionel Hampton, Music City Swing, another big band, Bob Chesney. McChesney was with us last year. He's a trombonist, and he's very unique. Nashville Jazz Orchestra, the Van Treese Band, and Joey DeFrancisco is a jazz organist. What we've tried to do this year is feature three jazz instruments, or instruments that are related to jazz, and that's the organ, the vibes, and the trombone. And then there are four big bands, one Dixieland group, and the Van Treese family. They're a West Coast band. Ernest Van Treese and his brother Earl, and tragically we have to announce that Ernest passed away this week, and he will not be with us, but the band is quite good, and they are intending to perform as planned. It's a $57,000 budget this year. It went from $40,000 to $57,000. Most of that cost is the increased cost in acts. Our primary act is a $15,000 act, and the money's coming in steady. We're not there yet, but we're gaining come with it daily, I would say, and I anticipate being able to raise the funds as required.
All right, now, John, let me interrupt here just a minute. I want Glenn Martin to talk just a little bit about this lineup. You just mentioned pretty much from start to finish, and Glenn, I know you had a lot to do with this. Add to what John has said about the lineup that we can expect at the Jazz Festival this year.
Well, we have a variety of different groups. We have 4 big bands and 5 small groups.
Mm-hmm.
The first group is a Nightingale Band led by a former student of mine from Cumberland, Gabe Lamog, and they play different at private parties, studio recording, and it's made up of a lot of former Cumberland University students and MTSU students, and they're quite a good, nice group. And then at 2 o'clock we have Jerry Cron. He is we tried to get a variety of styles of jazz here. They're a Dixieland band, and they play original New Orleans style music, and some very fine Nashville musicians there in that band. It's Jerry Cron's Fat Tuesday Dixieland Band at 2 o'clock.
Well, there's Dixieland sort of has a style of its own.
It does.
And there might be people that would say they are fans of Dixieland who are not necessarily jazz fans, but I've always thought it sort of had a style and meaning of its own.
It does, and it is one of the early jazz styles in the United States, and then it does have its own style, but they're jazz players and personal friends of mine that play both styles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well, John Jewell has joined us now. He's made it to studio, and good morning. What a morning! But know what? In live radio, you learn to improvise, and we've done quite a bit of improvising today.
Hey, I found the billfold. That was a big deal.
Well, good. Well, you got quite a lineup, and I'm sorry to hear the death of
broke our hearts.
Van Treese. They have always been a great act and some real wonderful talent in that family.
A real staple of the event. Ernest even was on the committee for a period of time in helping us organize some of those.
He played with B.B. King. He was B.B.'s piano player. He was Ray Charles's big band. He was the piano player for them. And then I saw him about 3 or 4 years ago at the Water Festival, and he told me that he also played with Buddy Rich, which is a real, and so he's done everything. He was a highly talented and versatile person. And
Well, John, I kind of interrupted you when you
No,
got
that's all
into your budget, and you said $57,000.
Yeah.
And you've raised most of that, but you still
No,
need-
we're not quite there. We're right at $40,000, and I feel pretty confident about where we're going with this.
There's a lot of expense that goes into this, and especially if you do it right. And you're one of those people that if you don't do it right, you don't do it. That's kind of the way I would describe you. But one of the things that you have brought there, I don't think it started out, but it wasn't long until you had 2 stages.
Yes.
And that expedites the program so well because you have one group that's performing, the other stage, the ones that were just there are leaving, and the new group is coming
Exactly.
on. So you don't really have any downtime, and that's got to be meaningful to just have things right on time and get through.
It enhances things, and we made a big improvement last year. We finally just gave up and brought in professional stages. We had built the stages for years and set them up, and we brought the large stages that unfold and brought in the professional company to provide the stages, the lights, the sound. We also added video walls last year where we can scroll the advertisers. They get a better exposure that way. And so that has been a real boon to it. But when you are dealing, especially with those big bands where they've got 15 to 20 members, it takes a period of time to set them up. You can lose as high as 30 and 40 minutes between acts, and you just lose the atmosphere when that goes. It's expensive. And we also will have our dual grand pianos on stage again this year, as always. And Gary Beatty will be our master of ceremonies, as always.
He is of TV, radio and TV.
From Nashville, WSM, and did the, what was the ads on Channel 5 on Saturday mornings, the Trickett Honda ads.
All the
He did
time, but I
those.
can't.
He's a fine fellow.
Well, anyway, I don't want to say the wrong word here, but he did that for a long time.
Long time. And I might also say Delmonico, the winery in Baxter, has an outlet now in Watertown, and that's enhanced. A lot of folks like a glass of wine, and so that is available. The train comes. They'll sell out. They did last year, and they'll bring about 500 people. 2,000 to 3,000 will come, Coleman, if it doesn't rain. Last year, rained the first note it rained, and at 6 o'clock I thought it was going to shock us all. I've never seen such a lightning display, but we got through it.
Well, you're still interested in donations. Anybody that wants to make I'm sure you'd accept $10 or $1,000 or whatever.
There is a schedule of donation. It goes from $100 to $5,000, and we have donations in all categories. And yes, they can call me, 615-202-6651. They can call the Chamber of Commerce, and we'll be glad to get with them and sit down and explain what we can do for them as far as the advertising is concerned.
Well, I think the fact that you pulled this off, you sort of resurrected the Jazz Festival itself last year, and that speaks well for what you're doing and the fact that you're doing it again. But this is... You still sense pretty much the same enthusiasm that of years ago.
I do. I see that. Glenn has done he's always done an excellent job. We'll talk about a certain group. Why don't we get those? He said, well, I know somebody and I know somebody there. It's just amazing to see that happen. Let me say one thing. The two thing, we sort of misled some folks. The Democrat was nice enough. They had called me, and we told them that we were interested in the 2-night, and they did a wonderful spread. And to their credit, we thought we were going to be able to do that. But quite frankly, the 2-night event is a $90,000 event. That's just what it is. And it's two problems. Obviously, just raising the money is an issue, but you can't. We started raising money 6 months before this started. We needed a year if we were going to do that, because you get into a different type of fundraising. I laugh and tell everybody I don't hold the wine glass exactly right to raise that kind of money. But what I'm trying to say is you have to go to the foundations, you have to go to the large corporations, and they are slow to make their decisions, 3 months, 4 months, and we just decided it was too risky to try to do it again this year. We could provide another very strong 1-night event and make plans for that in the future.
All right, Glenn, since John arrived, we had let you say a lot, but I know you're looking forward to this, and I know you feel very good about the quality of the talent that's going to be there for the Jazz Festival.
Right. Yes, I would.
It's a good sound.
I would continue on. At 3 o'clock, we have the Nashville, the Jazz Alliance, which is a big band made up of local musicians, band directors, professional musicians, and they play a variety of anything from dance music to contemporary big band music. At 4 o'clock, we have duo Tashwar. That's Jerry Tashwar and his wife Marlena, and they travel all over the world. He's a vibraphonist and she's a pianist, and they have a duo. And one thing about the festival, and I'd like to recommend to parents who have students in high school bands or junior high bands, this will be an opportunity for their children to hear musicians, quality, professional level musicians on practically all instruments, all the wind instruments for sure, bass, drums, piano, guitar, in addition to the horns. And it is really something to me for the area, for Middle Tennessee, Watertown, Lebanon, and surrounding, to have this kind of educational opportunity for the students. Plus, if you're a jazz lover, it's live music, getting to hear the real thing, you know.
Right.
And so I would highly recommend to parents to, you know, if they can, bring their children out there, because it is, you know, a rare opportunity.
We're about out of time, but John, you can have the last word, but make it short. Jazz Festival, you planned this after the 4th of July. It's worked well.
Yes, the 16th of July starts at 1 o'clock. Be sure you bring a chair. There will be some bleachers, but I would recommend you bring a chair. It's a great place. The twin stages will be alive. The moon will be out, we hope. And a lot of great, solid, good jazz. Nashville is so full of that kind of talent. In the 30s and 40s, swing bands were a big thing in the Nashville area, and they're still there today.
All right, well, thanks for being with us, John Jewell, Glenn Martin, and that's it for a Thursday. Join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.